Hello. I had great intentions this week of doing a video every day and just showing you what I do day to day. I suppose it's a vlog. It fell apart early in the week, only because it got to the end of the day and I was just feeling a bit frazzled and a bit tired and just didn't get around to actually talking to the camera. I did take some short videos each day though, so, or maybe not every day, but yeah, I suppose first go of doing a vlog, maybe I'll get better next week or the next time I try and do it. So today's Friday. It's late in the day on Friday now, so I just wanted to go through what I did the last 4 days of the week, 5 days of the week. Yeah, you'll see I had trouble with motivation and trying to find my creative mojo, and everyone has probably been in that position. You're not really sure where to start or what to do. Nothing seems to flow. You feel like you've got a really big to-do list, but you just can't kind of get over that hurdle of actually starting something. I get really frustrated when I'm in that kind of situation because I know there's a lot of things that I want to do and I just, for some reason, can't get started. So what I try to do is a plan each day for what I want to do the next day or for things that I could do the next day. I try and have a really good daily routine where I get up and do some exercise and have some coffee and spend some time in the garden and then come into my studio and get started. If it's a mess, which it's a little bit of a mess now, as you can see, I find that it is better if it's tidy. So I'm really feeling like I need to tidy up before I get anything started. But also when it's messy, it means that there's been a lot of stuff happening, because when you're making things, you make mess as well. So it's always that cycle of being creative and making things and then making a mess and cleaning up your mess and starting again with whatever the next thing is. And then sometimes I just have to sit with feeling okay about having a week where motivation is low and maybe just do some sketching or drawing or putting my thoughts onto paper or something like that. I know there's a whole lot of ways that you can combat motivation. It's just a matter of finding what suits you, but also learning to be okay with it and that it won't be there all the time. It will pass and your motivation will come back. I'm feeling better about next week now. I've got a lot of things that I want to get started doing. I'll have to line them all up, write them down and get started. So yeah, I hope you have a good week and I'll be back next week. Hello. It's Monday. It's Monday afternoon and I've been trying to find my mojo all day. It's been a Monday-itis kind of day. I started doing admin tasks at the computer first thing and I just don't think that was the best thing to do. I just felt like I struggled to get into any kind of groove after that. I walked around the garden for a little bit early this morning with my coffee. finished stitching these soft sculpture earrings, little ducks, a pair but not an identical pair. So this one has a bit of a magenta, red, pink stitch in the background, and this one has the teal blue, and they're both freehand ducks, so they're a little bit different, but they look quite cute. And I've just put the sterling silver earring fixings onto them today. And I made these ones, which are an inspiration from a little tiny wooden pair that I was given, and I thought they looked really cute, so I'll try and make a soft sculpture version. And so I just did a bit of a play around with the shape, because when you're making these small shapes, it's quite difficult to turn the legs in the right way without bursting a seam. So there's only that's probably as small as you could go, because of how difficult it is to turn the little legs in the right way. And these two are also not exactly the same. You could see this one's a little bit bigger than this one. Slightly different shaped head, but they go together okay. That would be cute earrings. The ones that inspired me were a bluey greeny colour. I didn't have exactly the same colour, but I just thought I'll do some green ones as well. And these ones have the copper earring fixings on them. They're also slightly different. I just sew the shape when I'm sewing the two right sides together. I don't mark it out. I just kind of guess roughly the shapes. I don't want them to be exactly the same. So I might work on a few more different shapes or things. These ones don't have any stitching detail, which all of my others up until now have got the stitching detail, but these ones don't. So it's quite different for me to do them with the only stitching being around the shape, and then I turn them in the right way and stuff them. These ones I painted one side before I sewed them up, and then I turned them in the right way, and it didn't look quite right having one side painted and one side the colour of the fabric, which was white. So I just used my paint marker to paint the whole thing. And I'll probably make a process video of how I did those. Yeah, so those are what I've done today, and I think that's really about all I've done today, apart from some brainstorming to try and make a little plan for tomorrow and what I'll do tomorrow. Hello, it's Tuesday evening. It's been a relatively productive day. I've started painting some new work tables that my uncle made for me from repurposed materials. Thank you, Paul. I just wanted to paint them, brighten them up a little bit. I'm still thinking about where to put them. I need to rearrange my studio space / give it a bit of a tidy up, so that's a regular occurrence to make it feel like a workable space, because it takes no time at all to get completely messy and chaotic. So I spent most of the day in another part of my studio, in the shed part, just painting. I did a little bit of work on my website today. That's kind of fun. I'm teaching myself how to build the website, so if you visit my website and see something not quite right, let me know and I'll try and fix it. Yeah, I'm just moving some things around and putting some new pages in, so that's been fun, but I try not to spend too much time in front of the computer each day. Rather get outside and get into my studio and walk around the garden. And yeah, now it's the end of the day, so I'm just going to do a bit of a plan about what to do tomorrow. Hello, it's Friday. I did have very good intentions of doing a short little video each day this week, and that stopped on Tuesday. So I was struggling a bit to find my creative mojo at the start of the week, and then Tuesday wasn't too bad. Wednesday I spent the morning doing some online training, and then I had a couple of long meetings in the afternoon about a project that I'm involved in. Hopefully I will be able to tell you more about that project in the next few weeks. Thursday I spent time updating my website and my shop and just putting things into categories so it's easy to find things on my shop. And today is Friday. I have spent some time in the shed finishing some of the painting on the bench, and I was hoping that I could rearrange my studio and move that bench into here today, but that has not happened. So I'm hoping that I will be able to do that. If not on the weekend, then early in the week. I had another meeting and a couple of phone calls today, and I've been working on some more soft sculpture birds. Obviously this one's not a sculpture yet, it's just a deflated black swan. I did a swan and a couple of seagulls, and I'm going to do some kookaburras and magpies. I'm just trying out using the black fabric. I made a few mistakes, like with the white fabric you can see through where you have painted, and so it's a bit easier to sew the right sides of the fabric. When you put the right sides together, it's a bit easier to sew because you can see where the paint is, but you can't see where the paint is on the black. So I had to pin around the shape, and then I flipped it over and then I drew around the shape, and then I remembered I'm going to sew them right sides together, so I'm not going to be able to even see the marking that I've done on the back. So then what I decided to do was have the double layer of fabric wrong sides together, and then just cut around with about a 1/2 centimetre border around the edge. So cut around the whole thing and then put it right sides together, and do about a bit over 1/2 centimetre seam allowance so I could catch the outline in that. So far it looks okay, but with this one and the seagulls, I'll try and stuff them tonight and start stitching and see how they look. Yeah, I'm hoping to continue doing these and some others next week, so I'll show you them when they're finished. Okay, see you next week.